Hi, everybody. I'm Donna Terrell, and welcome to Terrell Talk. It's good to see you. It's good to have you here. So I have a guest today. This is a little different. We're kind of breaking away a little bit from what we normally do, but I work with him, and I have been working with him for a very, very, very long time. Greg Yarbrough is in the house. Now, this is very interesting because you moved from assignment manager to, I like to refer to your title as assistant news director because that's what I'm used to in that position and in the office that you occupy now. But you actually have a completely different title than that.
Yes, it's something new that we started, Multiplatform Content Manager.
Multiplatform Content Manager.
And what that means is we have so much that goes on at this, I say TV station, but in addition to the television product that we have every day, we have our websites that we produce content for, two websites, fox16.com and krk.com. And now we have this product here on Fox 16, KRK Fox 16 Plus, our CTV app. So all of those platforms I assist with our news director, our digital director, making sure we're doing what we should be doing on those platforms.
I am so glad you explained that because it never really resonated to me in that way when you were given that title. But you really are kind of like, old school for me, assistant news director to the newsroom.
Right.
To this digital platform
Yes.
and to our websites.
Yes.
That's basically assisting our news director, Ernie Paulson.
Yes, and I often, when I introduce myself to somebody and I say my title, they kind of have the look like you do, right?
Exactly.
Right then, just because it's something new. It's something. Television and our journalism careers, it's ever evolving.
Oh,
and
my
so
word.
I explain what I do and I say it's assistant news director, but we decided to change the title because it's not just news.
Yeah. It's not just news as it shows up on television.
Correct.
And it's very interesting having you here because this Terrell Talk is under your umbrella.
Yes.
So, you're hounding me to get me to have programs. And so I grabbed you and I thought, well, why don't you come on and be on the program with me? So thank you.
Yes, of course.
It's really nice. And the other thing I do like to say, I do refer to you, even though we're coworkers, as a friend because, you've been very supportive of the things that I do. I hope you have felt like it's reciprocated. And I just really appreciate you, Greg.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you. And what we do is not an easy job. It is 24/7, 7 days a week. And we work so closely with all of our coworkers that we become family.
We do.
We sometimes, we honestly spend more time together than we do sometimes with our spouses and our children. And it's a choice that we've made. We love what we do. So we become close. We become friends. We're not just coworkers.
We're not just
I'm
coworkers.
not just a supervisor and workers. I know we're coworkers and we're friends and we care about each other.
Yeah, we care about each other. That is for sure. But what I really brought you on this program for is to talk about something that I know you are very passionate about, and that's running.
Yes.
I have, ever since I've ever known you, and it's been far more than a decade now. And I met you when I first arrived in town, which was 22 years ago. I'm telling everybody how long that's a long time. And I was in TV news even before that. But I have always known that you are a runner, a marathoner, if you will. What got you into wanting to run?
Well, honestly, when I turned 30 and I realized I could not eat pizzas, cheeseburgers, and drink sodas all day long and just sit here, started gaining weight, you get older, that kind of thing. I said, I've got to do something to make myself healthy. Heart disease ran in my family. Okay. I started looking at all that kind of things. And I literally was just going out for a jog around the block. It might have been 5 minutes. It could have been a tenth of a mile. I now measure things in miles and stuff, but I was just trying to get healthy. And in 2003, the Little Rock Marathon started. And they were trying to get people to run it. So the organizers went around to all of the television stations and said, we would like you to create a 4-person relay team to help us promote this and kind of be like a
So
friendly...
in the newsroom, they wanted you to get together 4 people, so
Right.
you could do a relay team out of your newsroom.
And they approached our sports department because obviously it's a sport, and it was kind of a friendly competition between us and the other stations in the market. And one of the sports guys came up to me and said, "Greg, you're thin. You've been running. You want to do this?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing," type thing. So that got me into it. It got me to start really kind of training and getting more mileage.
Yeah, and I know we have some photos. We have we grabbed them from your Facebook page. That's very interesting
Yes.
in how it all began. I mean, just wanting to stay healthy, and then it grew into it. What was it? And this is you with a number of medals here. First of all, let's address this.
Yes, that's one of the Little Rock marathons. The reason that I'm holding two medals, is because marathon weekend, it is a whole weekend. It's not just the long 26-mile race on Sunday. They have shorter distances on Saturday, and if you run a distance on Saturday and a distance on Sunday, you get an extra medal. So I think that year, I don't remember what year that was, I ran the half marathon, and the day before I probably ran the 5K, so I got the marathon challenge is what they call it. So I got an extra medal.
Ryan, what year was it? It was a recent
So
one?
20
the
this
most
year.
recent one.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
So I would think you have quite a few medals because you
I do. I have run 19 full marathons, 19 half marathons, and I do not know how many 5 and 10Ks. I actually have a wall at home with like a little metal hanger with all of my little prizes, if you will.
So well, tell me this. What is it that you noticed early on, in addition to wanting to stay healthy? Was there's something, you talk about the endorphins. Was there something about it that just made you feel really, really good?
Yes, I mean, it's interesting because running is not for everybody.
That's true.
Because I've tried to talk multiple people in my life into it. It wasn't for them. That's fine. But there were multiple things that I enjoyed about it. I'm a very driven individual, and it was a challenge. I did not run in high school. I did not run in college.
Why was it a challenge?
Physically, doing something I had never done before and pushing my body, pushing myself. I did not get into this to run 26.2 miles a full marathon, but once I started adding mileage, I said, could I do that? Maybe I could do that.
When was it when you realized you could?
It was the third year of the marathon. The first 2 years I did the relay, and a relay means that 4 people divide the 26 miles into 4, not equal parts, but basically equal parts. And after I got up to 6, 7-ish miles, I said, maybe I could do that. So the third year of the marathon is when I ran my first marathon.
What does it feel like when you're running a marathon?
Of my 19, I can tell you 2 of the 19, I ran from start to finish and felt okay. It is normal around mile 18, mile 20 of a 26-mile jaunt. You start feeling pretty bad. It's calling hit the wall.
So you're feeling pretty bad, meaning you're winded. You're just want to
exhausted.
stop.
You can't put one foot in front of the other.
Oh, wow.
You could be hungry. You get dehydrated. There are things that you learn how to try to counteract all these things.
Mitigate.
But it doesn't always work. My latest marathon was this past December, just last month, and it was the earliest I have felt poorly in a 26-mile run. I started feeling poorly around mile 8, and I was like, oh my, I have 18 miles left. I've been very lucky. A lot of people don't finish their races. They drop out. I didn't drop out of that one. I just walked a lot, which is fine. It doesn't matter how you get from the start to finish line as long as you're moving. Crawling, walking, running,
It's okay to stop and walk.
Oh, yeah. I have only run start to finish in the two that I felt good.
Okay.
But and a lot of times in addition to it's going to be a physical struggle, but it's mental. There are, knowing that you've done the training, knowing that you can get there, it's a lot of it is mental. Just kind of you literally take your mind out of it. Like my legs don't feel this way. You start thinking about other things.
How can you do that? I don't understand how you can do that because to me, and maybe mentally I'm just not strong enough to do that, but if my legs are feeling like noodles, they're going to continue to feel like noodles until they start feeling like water.
Yes.
And then I'm going to collapse.
It is really hard. And I will tell you, my challenge in training for marathons has always been getting over the mental. And that's because the physical, I could get there, I could train, I had the mileage under my belt, I knew I could do it. Mental for me was always hard to take your mind out of it. But I literally sometimes, when I'm at the end of a marathon, I close my eyes Because, you know, you've got people in front of you, behind you, you're not going to trip over a rock or whatever. And sometimes, like, I've taken myself out of it for 5 minutes and I realize, oh, I'm at this point of the race. Like, I just totally started thinking about that cheeseburger I wanted to eat at the end, or, you know, all the things.
Now explain to me what you just said, though. You said you close your eyes.
Yes.
How did you say you close your eyes for
Yes.
like 5 minutes?
You know, I've never measured it, but I have closed my eyes before. Like, as long as I know I'm in a flat, no turn part of the race, it has always just helped me to like take
Focus,
my mind out of it.
to focus,
Yeah.
to center,
Yes.
if you will, and continue
And
the
that's
race.
obviously not safe, and I don't do it forever. But I just kind of like take my mind out of it. Try to go to a different place, if you will.
So you are still running marathons.
Yes.
When is the next one?
I don't have one planned. I will tell you that the one that I did in December last month was my first in 4 years. As we get older, it's harder to run these distances. Most professional marathoners are between 20 and 28, and I'm double that in age. So I'm out there because I love it and I still want to do it. But when I did that race in December, it took a lot out of my body.
Okay.
So I had to take some time off to heal some things. I'm back to running, but my mind, I want to do 20, like a good even 20, and
Yeah.
retire from it.
Okay.
But I don't have anything planned.
Okay. And I wanted to get into the physical, the strain on the body. You know, I think of the knees. What have you encountered along the way in terms of injuries? And you smile because you know I know some of them.
Yes. We often talk about things like this in the newsroom. The bane of my existence when I started this 23 years ago were my shins, shin splints, and shin fractures. It was just the way that I run. Everybody, when you run, your foot plants on the ground a different way, and there are shoes that can correct those things. And it took me probably 10 years to find running shoes that did not cause my shin issues.
Oh, wow.
I probably had 3 or 4 shin fractures from shin splints. Then as my running friends that really helped me and guide me say, I graduated to soft tissue issues, which means hamstrings, my calf muscles. I figured out calf muscle issues was a hydration issue with me. I have to drink a lot more.
You have to drink a lot more.
A lot more during a race than others.
And Ryan, we can show some more pictures. I know we probably went through all of them, but we can continue showing these.
Yeah.
So, hydration. That's huge.
And so that helped me with my calf issues. Honestly, what took me the time off this last time was I was having knee pain, which was new to me. I've never had knee pain. And I was having problems with the arch of my foot. But that's basically gone away. It was just wear and tear from building up of the miles for the training and then doing the 26 that day.
So one would have to ask, though, once you start having these kinds of injuries, at what point do they keep occurring?
Once you become a runner and you do it often, you know what is bad pain and what is I can push through it pain. Like, okay, I'm injured, or you're just old, or you can push yourself. You just kind of learn. Like my knee pain, it kind of scared me because I've never had knee problems before. My father just had a knee replacement. He's obviously 27 years older than me, and that might come for me. There are studies out there that shows runners have stronger knees, and there are studies out there that show we don't. But that kind of scared me because I don't want to get to a point. That's why I took the time off. I don't want to get to a point where I can't run anymore. I've got to have a knee replacement. I want to be able to participate as long as I can.
So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was in college, after the first year, they talk about the freshman 15.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I gained every bit of that 15 and then some. Learned the hard way that you don't eat in the middle of the night and all of these things, just because you're not home anymore and you can, live your life and all of that. So I remember going home and I told my mom, I said, Mom, you got to help me lose weight. And so the first thing she said is, well, you got to stop eating McDonald's every day. Just kind of telling me, you're not
Yes.
eating healthy, number one. So
Yes.
she would cook every single day. And every single day, I would leave the house and go up to the high school and run the track. And I mean, every day. And I loved it. And I would push myself. The most I'd run is maybe 2 miles, but usually it was like, 1.5 miles, and I was good. I never really tried to run more than that. I lost the weight that summer. And it was really because, I started running. So from that point on, I began to graduate to 3K races. And then at some point, my knees started hurting. And to this very day, I can't run because it affects my knees. If I run, and I could run down the hall, and I'll wake up tomorrow morning, it's like, wow, my knees are hurting.
Yes.
So unlike you, you're able to just pound, and even my co-anchor, Kevin Kelly, as you know, he can.
He's an Iron Man. He
amazes me. He can do all of this stuff, but I ended up with bad, shoddy knees. So, the fact that you went as long as you did.
Yes. And I've had running friends who have had to quit when they were 30, when they were 35. Somebody, because of their hip, they had basically, it was cartilage, it went bone to bone. It's just
bone to bone.
Some people can do it, some people can't.
I guess it's our biological
yes,
makeup.
and it's any sport, football, baseball, tennis. Some people have to get out of it earlier than they want because of that. And I feel very fortunate because I have found that because I'm getting older, when you run a race or age group awards, the people who are running that are my age are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And I feel fortunate to still be there. I am nowhere near the fastest. I'm just glad to be there. And there are men and women out there in their 70s and 80s. Some of my best running friends are in their 70s. And I hope I can be out there when I'm your age.
Yeah. So, case in point, tonight, and maybe tonight is a bad example because I know we got a lot of work to do with as we head into this coming weekend. But so when you leave here, do you go home and run? And when you do, how far do you typically go?
Good question. I started my running career running it in the evening, and then I had a child. And I found I was leaving the television station, which is not always a 9 to 5, and I was getting home and I was going out and running, and by the time we had dinner, it took a lot away from the family. So I flipped pretty quickly to morning runner. So I get up anywhere between 4 and 5 a.m., run before work. And I started that so I could have the evening time with my daughter. Now my daughter's an adult. And I grew to love morning
Getting up
running
in the morning
over evening running.
Yeah.
To answer your question, how far do I run? It just depends on what I'm training for. Right now, I'm training for a 15K, which is 9.3 miles, which is next Saturday.
Ooh.
So during the week, I will do 3 to 4 miles, but because I'm ramping up, if you will, Monday I did 6 miles, and then my longer training runs are on the weekend. I did 10 miles this past Saturday. And then it's kind of rest point at this point because you kind of build your body and you beat it up, if you will, and then you rest it a bit.
Yeah,
for the
so
race.
you can recuperate.
It's called a taper.
So you mentioned a race coming up. What about inclement weather? Because in Michigan, I grew up in Michigan. Everyone knows I grew up in Michigan. And back in the days when I was running, I would get out there when it was cold outside because you bundle up, but once you start running, you start sweating. You're hot. So it's no problem. The only thing is you want to avoid ice and, and things like that. But I would run in the snow. Mm-hmm. I could do that. So, but here in Arkansas, well, when it's snow all the time, you would never get out and run. You try to get out where the snow plows have been and you run in that area, but sometimes you got to get over in the snow and run through that. But how do you navigate that and the cold here?
Yes, a good question. Every runner,
I always have good questions.
You
don't have to.
Do.
No, I can only say that to Greg. How many times have you said good question? Good question. I know what you mean though. It's something you want to talk about.
Well, and it's something that people don't really understand. Everybody's a different runner in different respects, and that includes weather. I love cold weather running. This is my time. All of my fastest times came running between 25 and 30 degrees. I'm not kidding. I'm kind of an outlier. Most runners like about 50 degrees because it's not too hot, not too cold. And you have others that love 70 and 80 degrees.
So how do you dress when it's 25 degrees out there?
25 degrees, I have on long tights pants and a long sleeve shirt. My rule is anything above 40, I'm in shorts. With a thin long sleeve shirt. But if it's above 50, I'm in a sleeveless. In shorts, I'm very hot-natured.
Okay. Don't we know it? If you worked in our newsroom, you would know that most of us sit in there and we're cold because
Of
you
me.
know.
And then
I know you
I try to
do.
adjust for you guys.
Thank you.
But I've never run into snow and ice. I am
Oh.
afraid I will trip and fall. When we are lucky here that when we have snow and ice, it's just for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And so I
Mic
just
check,
don't
1, 2, 1, 2,
train.
mic check.
Yeah.
But I have friends who live up north who train a lot on treadmills because
Because
it doesn't
of that.
melt.
And do you ever get on a treadmill?
I hate it. I call it the torture
She
device.
was. She's not
I have
anymore.
run 6 miles is the longest I've run on a treadmill, and I would have sworn it was a 20-mile run. It was just so horrible.
Oh my
because I
goodness.
love the scenery of running. You're always getting a different, running, by whether it be through neighborhoods you've never been
Yeah,
through
yeah.
or through the forest.
So even those little virtual things, like
I've
they
never
have?
done that.
Okay.
I just go to
because
the
you might
gym.
like that. You
Yeah.
you might, but
Yeah.
I understand when you're just out there with nature and you take in all the senses, you
Yes.
know, like
And honestly, that's another reason I'm a runner is it is one of the only times I'm by myself. I don't have my cell phone. It's not ringing. It's not, no one's texting me. I can think about whatever I want to think about.
Yeah.
And I don't always run solo. A lot of the times I run with friends, but I enjoy my solo runs.
Do you
Just
really?
to let go.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice escape, and I think a lot of people find that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's an addictive quality to it all.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned earlier about endorphins and high. There really is a runner's high. It can be rare that you get it, but when you get it, you can feel it. It literally, the hair on your body, like on your arms, you'll start standing up on end, and you feel like you can go faster. But then you have to tell yourself, don't do that, Greg, because if you go faster, you may ruin your race or your training run. Yes, and
I don't think I've ever had a runner's high in that case.
it's really neat to get it. Like when you know, like if you have a goal time during a race and you know you're almost there, and you look at your watch. Most runners, this is actually my running watch. I wear it all the time now. It has my pace on it. It's like I'm doing well, and you start feeling good. It's neat.
That's so cool.
It's a really good addiction.
Yeah.
It's a legal one.
Yeah. Well, we like the legal ones.
Yes, yes.
That is for sure. Well, I'm so glad you have something that you can do that can be so joyful for you,
Yes.
and especially when we work in an industry that can be very taxing. It can get stressful. Fox 16, the breaking news leader, and we're
Yes.
trying to break news, or
Yes.
news is breaking. We're trying to cover it. And you've been a manager for so long, just kind of, dealing with all these different personalities and all of these different, issues that employees encounter.
Yes.
And trying to juggle that and still keeping a smile on your face and not, I mean, I know there are sometimes I'll approach him at the desk and he'll say, Donna, not now. and I don't take it personally
Yeah.
because I can see what you're doing. You are busy. It's
Yes.
not like, Donna, I don't want to talk to you right now because you're drama. I mean, it's not that at all, so I do appreciate it. We have about 5 minutes and I want to talk about something that you and I both have in
Yes.
common. So I called in sick a couple times because I was mopping the floor and I hurt my back. I hurt my lower back. And, of all the things, I told my husband, I said, obviously I will never mop a floor again.
Great excuse.
Well, I mean, come on. I don't want to relive this. But you have had the same back issue
Yes.
in the same exact location.
Yes.
And as we were talking about it, I told you when I would bend down, the only way I could do it without hurting was to take my back leg and lift it up so that I
Straighten it.
wasn't bending.
Yes.
Yeah, straighten it. And so you encountered the same thing. How did yours happen?
Yes. Funny.
As we talk about our injuries.
Exactly right. And by the way, when she called in, I laughed, and she said, "Why are you laughing at me?" I said, "I only laugh because I know what you're dealing with." And we can laugh at each other.
We can laugh at each other.
I did it. I was in the attic moving around boxes like 20 years ago, and the box was probably 5 pounds. And I lifted it up, and I went, what has just happened?
Ooh, yeah.
And then I struggled getting down the attic steps to get to the house and get in the house. And I knew I had to lay down, and I'll never forget there weren't any sheets on the bed. And my spouse at the time, I said, I need you to make the bed. Yeah, and it was just that simple. Like you were mopping, I was lifting a very light box. It's just weird how it happens.
How it happens.
Yeah.
And and with me when it happened, I remember my husband and I, we had gone to church. He goes out to visit some family and I said, "No, I'm going to stay here cuz I've got to clean." And when it happened, I remember I went upstairs and I thought, well, let me just lay down for a minute. I'll just lay down. And I was going to call him and say, I hurt my back. And so, I just lay down. It's like, I know this will subside.
No.
But it didn't. And the really horrible thing is someone, my trainer actually, and he meant good. He said, go get a massage. I got a massage, and that made it, I could not walk after that.
As soon as Donna told me that, I was like, oh no, Donna.
I was in the emergency room after that. That's just how bad it was.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and even now, it's like I kind of, sometimes I feel something.
Just the other day, I was rolling over in bed, and I tweaked my back, I told you.
What is it with this back?
I don't know. It's, yes, so,
We're
it's something that you youthful people have something to look forward to, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, our producer
producer
in here. Yeah, Ryan's younger than us. And so, Ryan, I bet you don't have back issues, do you? Ryan I've been getting a lot of boxes for Warrior Lodge, and that's a whole nother, I won't go into all the details, and some of these boxes are very, very heavy. So when I leave at night, I'll say to Ryan, the producer that you can't see who's in here,
we need a producer camera.
Ryan will say, you need help with that? I'm like, it's really heavy. And it's like, oh, no problem.
Oh, I remember when you started getting all of those boxes, you were out with your back, and I thought, she's not going to be able to lift these.
and you're absolutely right, and I've been getting a lot of help from my coworkers, but that's just how we are around here.
Yes.
We're all family, and just like, my relationship with you, it's a very good, solid one. I was so happy to see you being promoted into the position that you're in now, much deserved, and as I said before, I will help you any way that I can, and I'll make sure that I get all my Terrell Talks done on time so that they can air.
And all your fans will love that.
You're very kind. It's so nice having you on.
Yes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the time, it's up. We're done.
Wow.
Oh, he's telling me I still have a minute. We have a minute? What do you want to talk about for a minute?
I don't know. We are never speechless.
I know, we're never speechless.
Exactly.
So your workload, how has it changed?
It has actually honestly helped because I slid from the position I was in to what I was doing, but some of the other managers in here was already looking to me to do things, and I was already starting to do some of these things, and it's helped to take some of the responsibilities off of me and let me concentrate on other things.
Oh, good.
So,
and that's been nice.
Yes.
That's been very nice. And we get to talk more, too, because unlike before, and I go to your desk and you're like, Donna, not now. Now you're pretty much like, yes, how can I help you?
Exactly.
and you're that way for all of us, so we really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ryan, can I wrap up now?
We did it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This has been so joyful, I think is the word I was looking for. And it's been so nice having you join us for this edition of Terrell Talk. We're back next week. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.